So what hairstyle complements your face shape? Good question. Well, you'll find out. David Gatt is a stylist at Mark Pardo Salons and is here today to educate us. Gave me my very first haircut here in New Mexico. Hi, David.
Hello.
I'm so happy you're with us today.
Good. Happy to be here.
Well, you know, you represent style quite well, New Mexico style.
Cool. Thank
looking
you.
good. Always looking good. Very styling. I like it. So let's talk a little bit about this because, you know, when I came to you, I said, David, I have a really round face and, I want the right haircut for me. And so when people come to you and they ask you these kind of questions, how do you answer that?
Well, there's a lot of basics when looking at a woman's face. If you see jawline and hairline, a lot of times you can tell exactly what's going on with the face and in turn think of what we can do to kind of complement that face. A lot of times people don't realize that they could really slim down a square face or a round face by simply leaving some length around the cheekbones.
Really?
That area. Yeah, and also a little added height over the top. A lot of times that'll actually help to elongate the form.
That's a good point.
I think also on the flip side, you think of someone with a very narrow face, adding some width to the sides.
Right.
Making sure you don't have a lot of height on top. Curls. There's so many options for different face shapes. And I think a lot of it is overlooked. So I think what's really neat is as a person going into the salon, if you have a basic idea of what your face shape might be, then what's good about it, you go and you're equipped.
Sure.
You can get engaged and have a good consultation knowing that you might end up with a better outcome.
Sure, and you don't end up with that unrealistic idea, because I know a lot of times I'll say, oh, I want this look, and I'll bring in a photo, and then my stylist would say, that's not right for your face. So it's good to have that idea ahead, and we're going to actually show you guys exactly what it's like to go get a haircut with the master himself. Let's take a look.
Hello, my name is David Gatt. This is my model, Sarah. What we're going to do is assess her face shape today and give some tips on where we should go cut-wise that'll best suit her. As you can see with Sarah, she's fairly square in her face. So the goal with her is to actually achieve a lot of volume and height while elongating the form in through this area here. We don't want to do anything that's going to be too wide or too broad across her forehead. So keeping bangs, no bangs in this situation, but really trying to, again, elongate and narrow her face a little bit. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing a dry haircut on her. Part of the reason why I want to go in and cut it dry is I can actually see where the layers fall. I can see how it develops the shape. And it's like instant gratification. We can get in there and see if the cut marks are smooth and blended, or if we need to go a little deeper in there and to actually kind of create more movement. So I'm going to start right here in the back and come through and just do a series of cuts that come through the hair, kind of getting some of the weightiness out of this midsection, and so that it pushes the hair up towards the top a little bit. I'm going to grab a section like so, come beyond her cheekbone, and just give it a nice little subtle amount off there, all very elongated and blended so it doesn't cut her face shape in half or anything along that line. And you can see how the shape's changing a little bit. It was really, the emphasis was towards the bottom. Now it's starting to allow some of this weight it's actually allowing some of the volume to kind of kick in a little bit on the top. Also, you might notice that there's not a lot of marks like a regular layered haircut. So that's one of the other benefits of doing it dry. Want to make sure that I'm not coming in and creating too deep of a line, so really shallow. And you can see some of the hair that I'm cutting off. Keeps a nice blended long line here. And again, we're not cutting any length or any significant amount of hair off the length. It's more about what's going on the inside. We're taking a fair amount off from the interior of the haircut just to make it look like it has a lot more movement, more lift. The length itself, though, will go through it and nip at the ends, but that's about it. I'm going to come on, into the interior here and actually take portions out of the hair in this manner. That shorter hair underneath is going to push that longer hair up, and it'll help support any kind of back combing she wants to do or any kind of extra volume she might try to create up there. So I'll give you a little sample of what that looks like. Now we'll be able to see just simply by lifting this hair, it should actually support it a little bit more because we did some of that work inside. See, we can get that without even back combing or anything. You're getting a little bit of a bump back here. So anything that's going to support that is really, really good and really great for Sarah's face too. Helps you to kind of get a taller type of feel. As you can tell by the pile of hair on the floor, we cut a lot of hair off. Overall, her length doesn't really look a whole lot different, but her hair has a lot more life to it, a lot more volume, a lot more texture and movement. And so what I'm going to do just to finish this hairstyle off is come through, give it just a really slight amount of back combing here, just to support some of the height that we're trying to create in it. As you can see, I'm doing it very soft, very subtle. A little bit of spray. And that's Miss Sarah. Cool.
Wow, that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
She looks good.
Yeah, she was a good example of a square face shape, still maintaining a longer look,
yes,
but just getting a little bit of lift. And realistically, that length, we took maybe a ½ inch off of her length.
Right, and yet it looked so much healthier,
yeah,
and it looked so much more stylish.
Yeah.
And what I loved is because you did with me the dry haircut, I think that is spectacular, because a lot of times when your hair's wet, especially for someone like me with curly hair, it curls up. You can't necessarily see exactly how much is coming off.
Exactly.
So I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and you know, it gives you, like I said, instant gratification. As a hairdresser, it lets me see exactly where I'm going in real time. I don't have to guess if it's going to style out right.
Exactly. And the top as well. I love the fact that you didn't even, before you even backcombed it, you got that lift in the back just from the way you cut into it, and without even doing the length.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, those short hairs on the inside, if you think about it, the short hairs, they want to pop up. So if you have some short hairs on the interior, it just forces some of that hair up and keeps it from just looking like it's hugging the head.
Exactly, exactly. And so with a longer face, you want to give a little bit more of a lift, right?
Well, with a longer face, actually, you want
less of a lift.
Yeah, you want less lift here, but more width in the sides.
Got it. Okay, so I guess my round face needs more of a lift.
Lift is good for you.
I like it, and we'll be back with more with David after the break. I love that.